I want to begin my statement by reiterating my anger over the death of George Floyd. It has stricken all of us to the core. The actions that we've seen in Minneapolis, the policies that we see in Minneapolis, the response that we see in Minneapolis. And for us, the way that we honor his death is to make sure that our police department is a reflection of what this community wants to see. That means in terms of its policies, how we respect people, and how we interact with people of all color, all creeds, all desires. So I want to begin by just focusing on that loss. I also want to commend all of our public safety partners. Their dedication and professionalism has shown through very, very difficult times. We have maintained high professionalism and respect to everybody we've dealt with over the past 2 days. This has been a team approach. It includes Richmond Police, Richmond Fire, Richmond Ambulance, Emergency Communications, Henrico Police, Henrico Fire, Chesterfield Police, Virginia State Police, Virginia Capitol Police, Virginia Commonwealth University Police, and I am truly grateful for their support. I want our citizens to know that we're doing our very best to provide life safety to all of our citizens throughout these challenging times. While we can replace vehicles, we can rebuild businesses, we can rebuild homes, we shouldn't have to. But what we can't replace are lives, and lives are the most important things that we safeguard. As the mayor mentioned, we've had a lot of violence that has occurred. Many of the people that have been injured due to protester on protester violence. I want to reiterate that again, protester on protester violence. The man shot last night was shot by a protester. We've had a number of people that have been injured by thrown bottles, rocks, bricks, everything that you can imagine, thrown by other protesters. As the mayor said, our protests have started out peacefully every single night with respectful people voicing their legitimate concerns. We've been able to facilitate them in their First Amendment rights, but it hasn't taken too long each night before actors that I'll go into in just a few minutes have taken over the protest and have changed the tone. We've noticed on many occasions that those that started out amongst the peaceful protest, once it turns violent, they are immediately leaving the area, but oftentimes still being assaulted and battered. And again, there's one incident I think is particularly poignant that truly illustrates the seriousness of the issues that we're facing. The mayor mentioned this. Last night, protesters intentionally set a fire to an occupied building on Broad Street. This was not the only occupied building that has been set fire to over the last 2 days, but they prohibited us from getting on scene. We had to force our way to make a clear path for the fire department. Protesters intercepted that fire apparatus several blocks away with vehicles and blocked that fire department's access to the structure fire. Inside that home was a child. Officers were able to help those people out of the house. We were able to get the fire department there safely. Sorry. But when you take a legitimate issue and hijack it for unknown reasons, that is unacceptable to me, it's unacceptable to the Richmond Police Department, unacceptable to the city of Richmond. As the mayor said, this isn't Richmond. And it truly is not Richmond. It's not even Virginia. It's not even the Mid-Atlantic. We have intelligence that we're working on presently so that we hope to be able to file charges following up from this. We have people from across the country who have traveled many states to be here. We know that this is an organized effort. We're committed to try and identify those that are behind it, and we're doing our very level best to arrest those that are perpetrating the violence on our community, our city, and our citizens. So, with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor.